Listen to Abure. Yesterday, Abure was on air speaking about the Labour Party. Let's listen to him, then we'll come back to the calls.
I must seize this opportunity to make some clarifications on some few issues. I and the party have been accused of being responsible for Peter Obi's failure in the 2023 general election. They have stated that the campaign, election donations, and funds for the payment of agents were mismanaged by the party. Hence, Peter Obi failed in the 2023 general election. I have ordinarily refused to make comment on this because I believe that as a leader, leadership is taking responsibility. And I believe that we're all one and that I should generally take responsibility for the actions of this party. But recent events have shown that we'll be doing this party and we'll be doing ourselves injustice if we continue to keep quiet on all of these issues. And that's why we have decided to come out clean to make some of this clarification. Let me make it categorically clear that campaign funds were disbursed, administered in the southern states by the leadership of the campaign council, first led by Doyi Okupe, and secondly, under the control of Akin Oshutogun. While the funding of the campaign for the 19 northern states were handled by the vice presidential candidate of the party, Dati Baba Ahmed. The funding of the election itself was done by Peter Obi himself. The party was never involved in the distribution of those resources. Our interest was to see how we can produce a president for the party. However it was done, we didn't bother ourselves about it. Hence, we gave them free hands. Whoever they trusted, whoever they wanted to entrust their resources to, we didn't want to bother ourselves with it. We followed them sheepishly. We followed them loyally and allowed them to administer the funds of the campaign for the election and so on and so forth. As per the donation, the party was not involved in the collection of any donation, campaign donations. Donations to the campaign were channeled to the following accounts: Obi Dati Ahmed campaign account, Zenith Bank 124-195-0451, Sterling Bank 0091657896, Heritage Bank 1400234900, Globus Bank 1000128194. The signatories to these accounts were Aisha Yusuf and Pastor Itwa Iwodalu. They were equally responsible for the payment of polling unit agents. The party did not even bother to pay its agents. We handed over the list to the campaign council and to those who were administering these funds to pay polling unit agents that worked for the presidential election. Consequently, it is mischievous for any person to accuse me at the party for mismanaging of these funds. At no time did the party or its officials engage in any financial transaction as it relates to the presidential campaign.
Okay, so you heard You heard him.
As much as he was trying to distance himself with how the funds were being spent, rather, he says so much about the party. I mean, we know that Labour Party, over the past few months, not even months, it's going to years now, has been embroiled in a lot of controversies, a lot of back and forth. And now the Punch newspaper is also reporting part of what he said. Saying that the Labour Party presidential ticket is no more reserved for Peter Obi. That would mean that coming for the 2027 election, it would have to contest with other party member or whoever it is that may be interested in the Labour Party ticket to campaign for the presidential election. And he also touched on Abure State, saying that no governor has the power over their national working committee.
Yes, to call the national working committee or appoint a caretaker committee. However, I listened to a senator on television who was saying that the time has elapsed on that executive. And so when the time has gone on them, they can no longer act as executive member of the party when the time that the constitution has given to them has lapsed. And so in that situation, there must be something the party will do to keep the party running. That there was no way they could be acting on behalf of the party if their tenure has lapsed by the constitution, and that did not do what they were supposed to do while they had the constitutional backing to do it. And so the party will not just be in akimbo while they become illegitimate, as it were, that they are occupying the space illegally, you know. So now, what do you think about the Labour Party now? But there's something that I like about this whole thing. I love the fact that
transparency, accountability.
I love the fact that they are bringing these books out for us to look at, and it's important that political parties should do this. I've been an advocate of having political parties tell us how much donations they got
and how they spent,
how it was disbursed. I mean, you see him saying that, look, those who dealt with the southern states were Donyo Okukwe and Akinchitokun. Donyo Okukwe and Akinchitokun should come to the public, and they always come vocally to speak against the political parties, to speak against government, to speak as they spoke against Buhari and speaking against Tinubu right now. They should come out and say, this is how much I administered. These are the procedures that I followed, and this was how I disbursed the money. They should come to the public and tell us.
I agree, but another argument that I've seen people pull is how, when he rounded it off by saying people that were signatories to the account. He said Aisha Yusufu and Ighodalo. Yeah, and the people have been hinging that on the possible fallout between the chairman of the party, Abure, and the presidential candidate, Peter Obi, and how Aisha Yusufu has been a vocal advocate for the candidacy of Peter Obi, and saying that it is to indict Aisha Yusufu and indirectly the presidential candidate in the 2023 election. Okay,
so mine is we need transparency. We need to hear from them. They need to come out, and other political parties.
I mean, that part is worthy of emulation.
Other political parties should do the same too. Let's know how they administered people's money during their time. Let's see if you're there. Let's hear your thoughts. Hello.
Good morning, Oluwaseun.
Good morning, sir.
Toye Brown. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Toye.
Welcome.
Well done to both of you this morning.
Thank you.
The last time I counted is Mr. Abure, the chairman of Labour Party.
So that's the issue.
He's not the chairman of their time has gone. The truth is, saying from the press release this morning that Peter Obi can take away Peter Obi in the Labour Party. I wonder whether they could go far.
No, but